I'll do this video as a half-ass follow-up to another one that I'm trying to remedy a problem. This is an aftermarket Amazon purchased four-wheel drive actuator, 2017 Ram 3500 dually, four-wheel drive, Cummins. And this was like 90 bucks. I actually paid about 79 bucks. It was on sale. The company was so gracious to send me a second one when the first one failed after under 400 miles. It has problems. I've discussed that in another video. You can look that up on my channel. Probably posted somewhere around middle of February in, what is this, Jiminy Christmas, 2024. So I'm going to seal this thing up a little better before I install it. This is uninstalled. I've hit this entire thing very meticulously and carefully with acetone around all of the surfaces that I'm about to spray on. My goal here is there are gaps right here. See that flex? That will never keep water out. So I want to spray this with like an RV type sealant that might give me a better chance of surviving water penetration on this thing. So I had bought this wall back. Hopefully it still works. It actually cures up because it was on clearance at Ollie's up in North Carolina, I think it was. Leak seal, Rust-Oleum. It says it is flexible rubber coating, waterproof, stops leaks fast. It's for roofing materials, gutters and downspouts, pipes, and more. So this is definitely more. It says it seals cracks up to 1/4 of an inch. There are no cracks on this that are anywhere near 1/4 of an inch. So I've taped off very carefully the entirety of the quick electrical connection to make sure that none of this gets on the sealing surface of it, nor down any the pins. I've also taped off around this entire actuator itself. The actuator teeth are down in the vise, just being held in place. And then I tried to keep this wrap just where all of these gaps are at in these cases, where the cases mate. All these other little areas in here, that's just simply the clips. So this thing will clip together. But there's no RTV on this aftermarket one like there was on the OEM. So what I plan on doing, and probably will end up with this crap all over my cell phone, is shake this up extremely well. I've got it at 74 degrees in the garage right now for this thing to cure tonight. And I'm going to give this at least 2 coats. I'm going to lay it on pretty thick. I do not think there's any heat buildup in here of measure under normal operating conditions. You're not using the little mini motor that's inside here unless you're engaging four-wheel drive, and that just isn't getting very hot. So I'm not concerned one bit about this stuff making stuff hotter. You know what I'm saying? All right, so initially I'll get a little bit of the actual spraying of this stuff on here, just so you can see the application, but ultimately I'm gonna get my cell phone out of the way. Let's go ahead and try to zoom in on this a little bit. I do not want this stuff on my cell phone. No, thank you. Let's just zoom in. And right about, that's right there. All right, so do a little test spray. Looks like it goes on pretty thick. So first let's hit the actual case half points here to try and seal those off first. I want to try to cut my vise just a little bit, as well as the garage doors. In this application, I do use this vise for welding, and I'd like to use it as a ground sometimes. Not worried about this stuff getting inside. With the way that the case halves are configured in there, it's just not really that realistic that this stuff should penetrate. It's thick enough to where it shouldn't penetrate like water does inside of these actuators. That's my theory, but I don't exactly want to force like dramatic pressure right at the seam either, you know. That was a bad shot. So I get a good coating everywhere that it'll take it this first round, in hopes that on the second coating it'll create it'll grab a hold of that one and fill in gaps that aren't being filled in on the first one. Is kind of what I'm going for. I'm getting this camera out of the way to do the rest of this off, and I'll show you the results in a second. All right, so there's goopy coating number 1. It does say to allow 15 to 30 minutes between coats for best results. Do at least 2 coats, it says, and full cure time 24 hours. I think it says like something like safe to touch, or whatever, after 2 hours. So we're gonna wait a full 30 minutes. I laid it on pretty thick, so I mean, it's already tacking up. I can see it getting not so glossy on these parts. You can see how those seams are closed up on there. I mean, is that a seam? No, that's not a seam right there, I don't believe. Pardon. Firecrackers. So that product is, I think this is going to work out pretty well. So providing that this thing actually works. Oh, I'm sorry. I did do a bench test on this one. So it does in fact work. So provided it doesn't fail for other reasons internally aside from my modification here, I think I like this. This is going to be better than just plugging this thing on. I guarantee you this would have failed. 100% guarantee you this would have failed within a few thousand miles. No doubt about it in my mind. Few thousand miles, few rains, it would have failed.